Hi everyone, I thought I'd show you today how I do a lot of my training, which is on Zwift. And you can see Zwift on the screen. I'm going to show you how it is that I do my cycle training with my indoor trainer. So here in the Pain Cave, I have my Wahoo Kicker, which is the latest model. It is what they call a smart trainer, and it's a wheel off trainer. So you take your back wheel off to use it, which is really good because it saves your own cassette and your own wheel as well. Because I had a fluid trainer before this and found that the back wheel was wearing out quite a lot because it was literally friction on the back wheel. But none of that with this. As you can see, it is all on the cassette, which is fully attached to the Wahoo. I've had this for about 2 months now, and it's amazing. The good thing about it is predominantly it talks to Zwift. Once you actually sync up the Wahoo to the Zwift, you can actually set your program. If it's a workout you're doing, or a race, or you're just doing a free ride, it will actually figure out what the incline is or the decline that Zwift is asking, and it will talk to the Wahoo, and you'll actually be able to feel that. So it's almost like riding outside really, but without all the traffic and all the other stuff that goes with riding it outdoors, which is great. So I've got my time trial bike on here. Sometimes I do ride with a road bike on here, but I really like to train as much as I can with my time trial bike, just so I can get the feel of being in a race position for a really long time. Some of my rides go for up to 3 hours on the weekend, and if it's an indoor ride, I want to be on the time trial bike. So it's a great bike to be on. I always have my water, I call it the reservoir, right there, which makes it really easy. And I always have a towel normally over the handlebars there, because you do sweat an incredible amount when you're working on your bike indoors. Hence the reason I have a sweat mat as well, because if I didn't, the carpet underneath would not be pretty, and it would not smell good either. The amount that you sweat indoors is, I'd say at least 10 times more than what is outdoors, because you're not going through the wind, and you're not having that wind constantly cool and dry that sweat that's coming off you. So it's really important to have. So I'm going to just set up Zwift now. So you'll see it's logged in as me. That's me. And you just have to hit the button. There's usually some really cool music that goes with it, but I've turned it down so that you guys can hear me nice and clearly. You do need the internet for this. You need a good internet connection. In Australia here, I'm currently running on ADSL. We do have the National Broadband Network, but I haven't hooked up to that yet because I've heard a few pros and cons about it. So I've stuck with the ADSL for the moment. It's set up for run at the moment. I'm going to flip over to ride, and you'll see already that it's actually come up as recognizing the Wahoo there. I've also got a heart rate monitor as well. It's a Wahoo ticker. I'll just pan over to show you that. It's just this one here. It cost me about $60 Australian. So that is a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. I do have a Garmin, but Garmin's run on Ant Plus technology, which doesn't actually talk to the Apple TV, because I've got the Zwift set up on the Apple TV at the moment. Now with the Apple TV, it's literally one of the new ones here. It's quite a big box, and it's got this kind of remote. If you've got one of the first generation Apple TVs, which has a silver remote as well, and the box is a little bit skinnier, it won't work. You can't actually get this app. So you need one of the new ones, just one of the standard definition, or the 4K will do it as well. So I'm actually going to jump on my bike so that you can actually see it start. Bear with me for a moment. There we go. Click in. All right. So I'm just going to power up a bit. So while that's just doing its thing and getting ready, I will talk about what you can use to get on Zwift. You can use a number of different devices to get on Zwift. You don't need a Pain Cave setup, definitely, and you definitely don't need an Apple TV. You can use you can just use your mobile phone. Both iOS and Android have the Zwift app, which just has the Zwift app, and it has a mobile link app as well, which allows you to talk to people while you're actually doing your ride as well, which is kind of cool. An iPad as well is a good way to hook up, and also you can use your desktop or your laptop computer as well. So there's lots of different ways. So it's a really accessible program. I'm just going to start a normal ride. I'm sorry you can't see it much better, but see how we go there. That's a bit better. So you can see that there's a few different missions there. Over on the side, on the right hand side there, it's got upcoming events, so you can actually join rides or races that are happening. Currently, according to the calendar down the bottom, we are going to be riding in London. So there are 3 different courses that you can ride on at the moment. London, Richmond, which is in Virginia in the United States of America, and my favourite, Watopia, which is a fictional land that is full of volcanoes and really, really high mountains full of snow and yetis and all sorts. So I'm just going to start ride. There I am, and off I go. That's it. So it's really, it just takes the boredom out of indoor training. I think I did about 18 months without Zwift and would follow a set program and go, oh, okay, it's 5 minutes. Now I need to go out to 160 watts and things like that and just try and guess it. Whereas this does it all for you. You can see at the moment I'm just pedaling very slowly and doing 71 watts. Up the top you'll see my kilometers per hour, how much I've traveled, how many meters, I haven't climbed any meters yet, and my time. Over on the right hand side you'll see a huge list. That's the other people who are Zwifting at the moment, who are currently riding their bikes or running in London. And it's really cool because sometimes you can actually see pros come past you. They're recognised by having a tick, or some of the Zwift employees who just have the Z on their logo. So it's really cool. There's challenges, there's sprints that you can do, all sorts. Without Zwift, I honestly don't know if I'd get all my training done. It's just been that much of an amazing thing to implement into the training. So if you haven't already got Zwift, I highly recommend it. So I'll leave it there. I will talk about Zwift running, which I've only just gotten into myself at some other stage. But if you've got any questions, pop them down in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.